Have you ever been curious about the exact process to align with certain vibrational frequencies? Or maybe you've heard about it before, but you're not quite sure what that means or how to do it. Today, we're going to start exploring this concept in a little bit more detail by practicing aligning with crystals. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly. We're gonna play with crystals, which is my most favorite thing in life. I'm so excited. So, to help me out with this process, I have my wonderful Crystals for Healing book, which I love very much. This is by Karen Fraser. And we're gonna work with my friend Selenite today, which is phenomenal. Before we do, though, if you have not already, if you would be so kind as to please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you stay up to date on all my latest content. This is a simple thing. It takes like 2 seconds, and it really does help support me in supporting you. It helps me know what you like, what you want to see more of, and how I can better show up to support this beautiful community of sparkly souls. So thank you with glitter on it for doing that. And let's get back into it. So I love selenite. You've heard me call this magic eraser if you've watched this before. If you haven't, selenite is amazing. I love it as in terms of like an energetic cleansing tool. It works, at least in my practice, very similarly to like a smudging stick or like sage or something like that. So I'll read you what the book says about selenite. It's a very high vibrational stone. So if we're thinking about frequencies, right, it's literally the vibration of a substance. So whether that's air, liquid, or a solid, because even solid things vibrate a little bit, right? And it's about the frequency. So if you think about a radio, tuning up and down, you're switching through the channels. Some of them are fuzzy and don't come through very well. Some of them you are like, oh yeah, that comes through really, really well, but I hate this song. I don't want to listen to it. Or maybe it's talk radio, whatever you're not into. And then you kind of flip through until you find what you like, what resonates, what actually makes the cells in your body vibrate at a frequency or vibrate in alignment with whatever it is you're listening to. It feels good and it's pleasant to you and you like it. That's what we're talking about with regard to vibrational frequency. So this being a very high vibe stone, again, it's milky white. It's kind of got a liney texture to it. This can be rough, a little bit splintery. So you definitely, if you get a hold of some selenite, you're going to want to make sure that you sand it. I know it sounds nuts, but if you get that wet to dry sandpaper, very fine grit, I think it's like 220 is what I use, and you rub it on your selenite to get rid of those splintery things, then because it's very much like glass, then you can go ahead and handle it safely and it's not going to hurt you. Do not put this in water. Do not cleanse this in water. It doesn't need that because it will dissolve. Not immediately, but eventually. So if you want to keep your selenites around for a while, do not put them in water because then you'll be very sad when they dissolve. And don't drink it either because yuck. Basically, it's a variety of gypsum. Has a very soft texture, which is why you can sand it and why it dissolves in water. So gypsum being like the same kind of stuff that they make drywall out of, for context, for those who don't know. It can be easily damaged, so it can fracture. Again, it's got little linies. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's little linies in here. So these are potentially fracture points. Something could chip off or break. And when it does break off, it can be splintery and sharp. So again, that wet to dry sandpaper, very helpful. So it carves really easily. You can find it in all kinds of things. It often comes in towers with lighted bases, which people love. And, it is kind of semi-translucent, so light will pass through it. If there's, a bulb underneath and it glows and it's super fun. So also don't use salt on these. I know lots of people like to cleanse with salt. Not ideal. For this type of stone, it's not hard enough. So it could scratch and then we have splinters and all the things. So the primary uses of selenite, the reason that people resonate with this stone, it promotes communication with the higher self. So whatever your version of divine, right? It sparks inspiration. It cleanses and purifies, which is why I love it so much. Again, magic eraser. It can also help to cleanse other crystals, so you can place it with other crystals and it will kind of help to draw whatever yucky juju happens to have accumulated within those crystals. It fosters enlightenment. So again, like those aha moments, not through pain, but through like, oh, wow, that's brilliant. And it provides a protective energy. Again, I love this for the purposes of magic erasering. You combine this with a smoky quartz, magic. I love it because not only are you cleansing your vibe, but you're also shielding and protecting from the negative because that smoky quartz is going to absorb a lot of that yucky energy. And the selenite, in turn, will help to cleanse the smoky quartz. So as the smoky pulls the yuck away from you, because remember, humans are energy sponges, the selenite is going to be releasing the junk, basically cleansing both you, facilitating that cleansing process, and your smoky quartz, which is pulling all the garbage away. So it's super amazing. I love combining crystals, but today we're just going to use the one. This is affiliated with crown chakra. It's the top of the head one. And you can put this pretty much anywhere you want. I like to hold to heart center just because I feel like that is extremely aligned for me. If you really want to kind of go to town, you could hold at about the midway point. So this is your hara. The hara is in Reiki representative of the body, the connection to the world, the earth, and heart is the center of both. So you've got head, hara, heart. And if you really feel as though you need to ground, especially if you're really trying to vibrate at the same frequency or resonate with this particular stone or any stone that you're trying to work with, sometimes we have to start by grounding ourselves in our bodies and really allowing ourselves to feel the experience of this particular frequency, this vibrational frequency, how this stone vibrates, because it does, remember, frequency, it does vibrate at a specific frequency. How it vibrates can impact and influence the way the cells within our body vibrate. Same like our favorite kind of music or, something that we see that we really, really enjoy, right? So bringing this to hara, again, like that middle point in the abdomen, can just allow ourselves to focus on what it feels like for this stone to be here. Now, if you have something, it doesn't have to be selenite. You can do this with me, or you can just kind of grab your own, whatever you happen to have handy. If this is something that you're wanting to attune to, in other words, connect to the frequency of, I like to recommend placing it on your body and just noticing how it feels. First, you can sit with your crystal in your hands. And you can just notice how it feels in your hands. Notice the texture, notice the weight, notice as you move it around in your fingers, notice that kind of tactile sensation. Notice how it feels. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it even? Does it have bumps or ridges on it? Like, just notice. That's one of the first ways you can kind of connect with your stone. And then as you kind of leave it in your hands, notice how you feel as you hold it. Notice any changes in your physical body. Notice any changes in your mental state, in your emotional state. Just notice a change. Do you feel better or worse or the same with this crystal in your hand? No judgment. It's totally fine. Whatever you feel, and it's totally okay. And you'll get more sensitive as you get more practice. Some people I find are very highly attuned to the vibrational frequency of things around them. So when they are engaging with something that is for them, that they are in alignment with, that the frequency matches either what they want to achieve or what they're already vibrating at, then it will feel good. They'll be like, oh, this is like a buzzy, tingly, like super happy kind of experience. Or when you are exposed to someone or something that is not in vibrational alignment or frequency, matches your frequency, you're going to kind of get the heebie-jeebies and you're going to not like that. You're going to want to move away from that as quickly as possible. So now that we've taken the opportunity to feel what our stone is like in our hands, kind of roll it around, notice the physical sensation of, holding and manipulating the stone. We're kind of looking at it and checking it all out, just noticing all the nuance of our little stone here. And we notice how we feel when we have this in our hands. You can, again, wherever feels like it belongs. For some people, it is different. Most of the time, I will do heart center because the heart connects the hara, which is the physical body, to the head, which connects more with the divine, right? And our thinking processes and stuff. Heart is right at the center. So usually I will go ahead and place that over heart center and just notice. I just allow the frequency of this stone to influence my body. So similarly to when you're listening to music, the actual sound frequency vibrates your cells in a way that match that frequency. And if you like that song, that feels good. If you don't like that song, it feels terrible. You just want to move away from it. So it's a similar type of thing. If we allow this crystal, I'm going to place down on hara, we just allow the vibrational frequency, even if we can't physically experience it, just imagine those little waves of energy flowing from your stone into your body. Notice how this high vibration stone, this very high frequency stone, and again, the higher the frequency, the higher the vibration, the better you tend to feel. The lower the frequency, the lower the vibration, the yuckier you tend to feel. So if you're feeling yucky, this can be a very nice exercise to help you start feeling better right away. And just allow that frequency, that movement of energy, those little tiny waves to emanate from your stone and into your body. And notice how that feels. Notice a shift. Notice how maybe different thoughts float through your mind. Notice if your body begins to release any tension. Notice your emotions. Do they change? Do they shift? Sometimes you can get tears as you are doing this. It's okay. Sometimes stuff comes up because it just needs to get cleansed out. It's okay. Let it be there. Let it do what it needs to do. That's its job. Part of purging and cleansing can often involve pretty heavy and intense emotions, especially if you're not used to feeling them. So it's okay if that happens. You're not weird. You're not doing it wrong. It's totally normal. Just let it do its job. It's just doing what it needs to do. So I personally, and again, I've attuned with this stone plenty of times before. We're really good friends. I have felt like right now I'm feeling kind of tingly all over, which is lovely, and just a very kind of sensation of lightness, as if a lot of the burdens of the week have kind of transitioned away, like the things that don't really matter, that aren't really important, have just kind of floated off. And it's just a really nice opportunity to ground yourself in a moment with a very tangible object that can help bring that clarity, because sitting in peaceful silence with, an object that brings you joy can just allow your mind to open up. Because again, if you're in rest and relaxation, then your body is better able to do what it needs to do, up to and including problem solving, coming up with creative solutions to things that maybe have been weighing on you for a while. And so this practice can be really, really helpful for kind of influencing more of those opportunities, those aha moments, not the ones that you have to gain through pain. Very nice. And again, feel free to move your stone wherever you need it. I like to personally use this kind of like a wand, and just pass it over my body to just release all the energy. And then when I am done, When my session is complete, I will thank my stone for choosing to align with me. In the Shinto practice, which Reiki is heavily influenced by Shintoism, everything has a soul, everything has a spirit, everything has energy. And when you align with something, like we've done with our crystal here today, then you express gratitude for that experience and that cooperation of that alignment. So, thank you to my beautiful little stone for hanging out with me. And then I will usually just brush the energy away. I personally have programmed all of my crystals to release any energy that is not in alignment with their natural frequency every 24 hours. If I am working with a client and we are doing some heavy lifting, especially, I will cleanse the crystals after each use. So if I'm magic wanding somebody, then I will brush it and essentially release whatever energy it picked up. I know that there's a lot of interesting conversation about crystals and the amount of energy they collect, because again, humans are sponges. Nature is not. Nature typically will not hold energy the same way that people do. Like stuff gets stuck in our brain and it just kind of lives there forever. And then all of the physiological and emotional sensations affiliated with that yucky memory or that yucky thought permeate our whole entire body, which can ruin our whole day. Nature doesn't do that. It's not wired that way, which is great because when we align with nature, because we are at our hearts, at our cores, we are nature. When we realign ourselves with nature, we can remember how to let go. We can remember how to release what no longer serves us and what wasn't ours to carry in the first place. We can be not necessarily like, okay, like, yay, I accept this, but I can allow this to be released for my being, for my own peace. That's what these do more than anything, which I love so much. So again, cleanse your crystals. You can do this very easily with intention. You don't have to use water. You don't have to use salt. You don't have to use moonlight or any of that stuff. You can if you want, just not on selenite. But yes, do cleanse your crystals. And again, simple as using intention. You can just, hey, your job is to support me with this specific function. Basically, the vibrational frequency that you naturally have within your being, I would like to resonate with that energy with you. And once we are complete, release anything that doesn't serve you, anything that's not your natural vibration. And then we're complete. Session is done. It's beautiful. I love it. So thank you with glitter on it for hanging out with me today and learning about attuning with crystals. Do practice. Let me know how you feel about this kind of thing and how your experiences go with your own crystals or your own, engagements with nature. You can literally do this with anything. Just let me know what you notice. Let me know how things are going. And if this was super useful to you, please do share it with your friends, because sharing is caring, unless it's germs. And I would love, love, love to hear about what y'all are doing. So again, thank you with glitter on it for hanging out with me today. And I hope you have a sparkly rest of your day.